So we all know that when Jesus was on earth, he was rejected and he was despised. And ultimately that led to his crucifixion. But we're not going to talk about his crucifixion today. We're going to talk about a time when he was loved and he was followed by thousands of people. And so at one point in time, he was preaching to this great multitude, thousands of people, and that did not include even children. So it would have been way more than the number that we even think it is. And so he was preaching to them, and after a while they got hungry, and so he broke bread, and he actually did a miracle. So he broke some bread and fishes, and he fed he fed everyone, put it that way. And after that, the people were so impressed that they were hunting him down everywhere where he went. They were looking for him. They were, I mean, he took a boat to another city and they followed him there, and they were like, when they got to him, and actually he was trying to get away from them because they wanted to make him king. Now think about that. They wanted to make him king because he gave them food, right? And so they wanted to make him king. So he's like, I did not come for this situation. I came to save the world, not to be king of your life, but to be Lord of your life as well, right? Not only to give you physical food, but to give you life eternal. That is my purpose, right? And so he basically just escaped them, and he went into another place, and they followed him, and they were like, we were looking for you. And he said to them, I know that you were looking for me, but you're looking for me for the wrong reasons. And so in chapter 6 and verse 26 says, and as they were talking to him and telling them how they were looking for him, Jesus said unto them, it says, Jesus answered them and said, verily, verily, I say unto you, he seek me not because he saw the miracles, but because he did eat of the loaves and were filled. And Jesus went on to say, labor not for the meat which perish, but for the meat which endureth unto eternal life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you, for him hath God the Father sealed. So he was like, listen, I know why you're looking for me. I know that the reason you're looking for me is not because you want to be saved, you want to have eternal life because you believe in me. It was because of what you've got from me, the loaves and fishes that you received from me, because you received the belly full. So that is the reason you're following me and searching for me. And so it got me thinking, right? Why are we searching after Christ? Why are we reading our Bible sometimes? Why are we praying sometimes? Let's be honest. Are we following Christ for the right reasons? Are we seeking him for the right reasons? Are we like these people? Because sometimes we read the Bible and we tend to condemn people like, oh, in those days people were so mean, or in those days people were so ignorant, or in those days they were this or they were that. But what about us? Are we different? Are we seeking him for self-gain? Are we seeking him because we want his protection? Is his protection good? Yes. You know, we might live in a country that is full of that criminals are everywhere, right? We might have to go in unsafe situations daily, and we want his protection and his guidance, and that's wonderful. But is it that we want his protection and his guidance? Or is it because he's Lord of our lives, we are his child, we're depending on our Father, which is him, to protect us? And so sometimes for some of us it might be riches, it might be fame, it might be, career advancement. It might just be because we want a spouse, all different reasons. People seek God for all different reasons. But if we're seeking God for any other reason apart from to have his life dwell in our hearts, for him to give us a new heart, for him to live in us, for him to reign in our lives, if we're seeking Him for any other purpose, then our seeking is in vain. And we are not going to get the benefit that we think we'll get outside of seeking Him for the true and real purpose. You see, Jesus said to the woman at the well, and the Father is seeking. He says, the time is coming. And He said, now is this time that the Father is seeking people who will worship Him in spirit and in truth. He's not seeking people who wants house and car and husband and wife and career. He's seeking people who want to be obedient to His will. Because true worship ultimately is obedience. And so sometimes we might be seeking God for the wrong reasons, and maybe it's not because we're selfish, but maybe because we're ignorant. Right? We were not taught properly, and it is not too late for us to turn around and to say, God, I want to seek you for the right reasons. And how do I know it's not too late? Now let's look at the story of the disciples, like Peter, for example. And Peter at one point, Peter asked Jesus. He said to Jesus, "No, we've left all we've had. So what are we gonna get, basically?" And then they were told, the disciples who went to Jesus, and they said, like, when you go in your kingdom, we want to sit on one of us want to sit on the right, and the other one want to sit on the left. So they basically was kind of looking out for themselves and to see, well, this is the kind of job what we want when you go into your kingdom, and then you start and establish your kingdom. So they were following Him for the wrong reasons. Did Jesus cast them off? No. Peter, basically, he couldn't take it anymore. He was like, well, what are we going to get for following you? Because, like, listen, we've left everything. So what are we going to get? He's basically asking, like, when is my payday going to come? But there was a time when Jesus said to Peter, when you're converted, feed my sheep. You see, God knows us even before we were born. Right? So even if we came to Christ because we wanted a house, a car, land, we wanted this or that, but we've come and we've tasted of how good and great He is. So Peter came and the other disciples came to Jesus because they saw something that they've never seen before, and they're like, this man can do great stuff, and we want to be a part of this. His kingdom is about to set up, and so we want to be a part of this thing and help to rule in Israel. But when they got to experience who Christ was, it changed their heart. So whatever is the reason why we end up coming to Christ, if we have reckoned that we've come to Him for the wrong reason, we can go back to Him and we can say, Christ, I came to you for the wrong reason, and I know that you're the Son of God. I know that you love me, and I know that my reason is so small compared to the reason that you have given me to come to you. And I want a relationship with you. I want to experience you. And He's not going to turn us back. He's going to say, come, my child. And so I hope this inspired you the same way it inspired me, because when we read the Bible, it's important for us not to see the people that's in the Bible and to condemn them, but to see ourselves and to see our faults and to see the ways that we might be going in the same direction as them, and to make a right about turn so we don't end up in the same situations that they did. You see, the Bible was written for our learning, and if we don't learn from the Bible, then we are ultimately in great danger. So until next time, take care.